everyone. Professor Chidi Odinkalu wrote a piece, and it's really interesting the way he even couched the heading, the title of the article that he wrote. He said wicked judges and Nyesomined courts. Professor Chidi Odinkalu for the last few years has really been focused on the corruption in our judiciary and how compromised the judiciary has been, and he has taken on the judiciary on it's literally almost like a one-man battle for us to have a reformed judiciary that we have incorruptible judges. Recently you saw the statement he made on the fact that the Chief Justice of Nigeria and the President of the Appeal Court were at a place, a groundbreaking ceremony for some houses that were going to be built for them, that the land was revoked not in line with what has been stipulated. And I did mention that Julius Berger, from whom this land was revoked, if they decide to go to court, how are they sure they're going to get justice? But anyway, and Wike repeated how he got the land in front of them, so that they are not even going to say that they don't know anything about it. But it's quite interesting. I'm going to go in here to read it. Starting this particular article, he said, a judge shall avoid developing excessively close relationship with frequent litigants, such as government ministers or their officials, municipal officials, police prosecutors in any court where the judge often sits, if such relationship could reasonably create an appearance of partiality. And this is from the Rule 2.8 Revised Code of Conduct for Judicial Officials in Nigeria, 2016. But today what we have is that our judges are always fraternizing with these politicians, to the extent that politicians we boldly and publicly state that they have controls over them. But going through the article, let me start. It says Silvanus Nsofo was a little known justice of the Court of Appeal when he breathed oxygen into Muhammadu Buhari's political aspirations with his dissent in the presidential election petition in 2007. 8 years earlier, he had launched a unique career in Nigeria's political litigation history. The case arose from the election into the office of chairman of the Obio-Akpo local government area in Rivers State in Nigeria's Niger Delta on 12 December 1998. 12 December, that's actually my birthday. 12 December, how old was I then? 1998, I was born in 1973, so let me do the math. Cyprian Tasi Wike was the candidate of the All People's Party, APP. Cyprian Chukwu flew the flag of the Alliance for Democracy. After screening as aspirants on November 24, 1998, the People's Democratic Party settled on Ezonwo Nyesom Wike as his candidate. At the time, local elections were conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission, and the PDP initially submitted Nyesom Wike's name as their candidate. However, sometime before election day, the party substituted his name with Samuel Rogers Ichionwo. When it announced the results, INEC declared the candidate of the PPP as the winner with 40,370 votes, beating the candidate of AD into second place with 11,441 votes. Nyesom Wike sued, claiming that INEC had announced Ichionwo as winner when he was not lawfully sponsored by any party in the contest. The Election Petition Tribunal struck out the petition, holding that it lacked jurisdiction to resolve the issue as to who was sponsored by PDP. Nyesom Wike appealed. In his judgment, on behalf of a 3-person panel of the Court of Appeal on 6 March 1999, Since this dates are giving me this thing, 6 March 1999, that will be 24 days before I gave birth to my first son. 6 March 1999, Sylvanus Nsofo nullified the result announced by the INEC and ordered a rerun of the election with Nyesomined as the candidate of the PDP. Wike duly won the rerun to emerge as the chairman of the Ovevekuve local government area. Since then, Nyesomined's political trajectory has been attended by what appears to be an unusual coincidence of mutually beneficial intercourse with the judiciary. In 2008, he became chief of staff to the governor of Rivers State, whose emergence rested on a somewhat improbable piece of judicial machination. After a stint as Minister of State for Education, Wike emerged in 2015 as the candidate of the PDP for the governorship of Rivers State. Following the election on 11 to 12 April 2015, the INEC declared him as the winner, ahead of Dakuku Peterside of the All Progressive Congress (APC). Peterside petitioned, challenging the result declared by INEC. The tribunal granted his petition and initially set aside the result. The Court of Appeal agreed with the trial tribunal. On 12 February 2016, the Supreme Court set aside the judgment of the Court of Appeal on a special technicality and restored Nyesomined as duly elected. The author of the Supreme Court judgment was, guess who? Kudirat Kekere Ekun, your current Chief Justice of Nigeria. In the past week, she and Nyesomined resumed mutual acquaintance. In the intervening 9 years, Kekere Ekun has risen to become Chief Justice of Nigeria, while Wike emerged in August 2023 as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. The venue was the flag-off of the construction by the Minister of 40 units of judicial housing in Abuja. This was the latest chapter in Wike's durable track record as Nigeria's most prolific judicial benefactor. As governor of Rivers State, he gave 41 Range Rover Sports Utility SUVs to judges in the state. Customary court judges were not left out. He gave them 29 Renault SUVs while complaining about the unfortunate unwillingness of the judiciary in Nigeria to seek it through independence to discharge their functions. The irony was lost on him. In 2020, Wike donated 24 luxury duplexes to judges in Rivers State and reportedly handed out $300,000 in cash to judges who prefer to build their own houses. It was presumably tax-free. Then, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Tanko Mohammed, slavishly applauded his generosity, saying the gift spoke of the love the Rivers State governor has for the judiciary. Rub my back, I rub your back, matter. The love was fully requited, given back. The previous year, in January 2019, the judiciary had made Wike's re-election an electoral non-event when it disqualified the opposition APC from fielding any candidate against him. Neutral observers did not need to wonder whether all the investment in the judiciary was without mutual benefits. Before leaving office as governor in 2023, Wike launched yet another construction of quarters for judges in Rivers State, this time on a site where his administration recently demolished flats initially belonging to Bayelsa State. The gubernatorial generosity to the judiciary went beyond the state level. Former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore reported that as governor, Nyesomined awarded a contract to former president of the Court of Appeal, Zainabu Kachua, while she was still president of the Court of Appeal, to build the Court of Appeal in Port Harcourt, the capital of Rivers State. In return, he said, anything Wike wanted was granted before he asked. Neither Wike nor Bukachua has thought it fit to issue a denial. We are waiting for a denial. Now, as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike's political generosity has become fully federalized under the judicial benediction of yet another CJN. At the launch of the 40 new units of judicial housing in Abuja this past week, the minister had both the CJN and the PCA, that's the Chief Justice of Nigeria and the President of Court of Appeal, in attendance, presumably keen to impress such high judicial presence. Wike serenaded them with testimony as to how he summarily revoked the land previously allocated to construction conglomerate Julius Berger to make it available for building suitable judicial digs. The high judicial figures present looked nothing if not impressed, but the minister was only getting started. He said that it was important to build houses for judges so they will not be susceptible to temptations from unscrupulous politicians. Wike, tell us something. No one around had the mind to ask him to look in the mirror and see who is looking back at him. This has been described charitably as convenient overreach. A better description of it will be judicial subornation. In full public glare, the two senior most judges in the country looked rather giddy as they advertised an undisguised breach of the code of conduct for judicial officers, whose effectiveness depends on their combined leadership and example. No political litigant in the country is more prolific than the current minister of the FCT. He has an almost extraterrestrial ability to normalize outcomes that defy all canons of lawful judicial enterprise. If anyone fits the description of the prohibition in Rule 2.8 of the Judicial Conduct, it is Minister Wike. Yet, for him, the Chief Justice of Nigeria is happy to retrench that same code of conduct. It was not supposed to be like this, according says Professor Chidi Odinkalu. Jerome Udochi, one of Nigeria's best-known lawyers and public servants, was born in Ozubulu in present-day Anambra State around 1912. Udochi was also the first indigenous district officer in the colonial civil service. He ended his civil service career as chief secretary to the government of the Eastern region under the military, coincidentally in 1967. The same year, Wike was officially born. You don't know whether he was unofficially born in other years, but this is the official year he was born. When he got the opportunity to undertake a retrospective on his public tour of duty in 1995, 15 years before he died in 2010, Udochi chose to issue his memoir titled Under Three Masters. The three masters whom he served, of course, were colonial administrators, post-colonial civilian politicians, and their military usurpers. Each set of masters was not without exertions in seeking judicial subservience. Until now, they had usually encountered judicial resistance. Under the current dispensation, however, it is almost as if the government has a minister responsible for judicial subordination. To many, the leading judges have become wicked, and the country has a CJM who appears happy to have the judicial branch fully Nyesomined. To have a judicial branch fully Nyesomined. Nigeria, there was a country, the judiciary that should be so upright is what has become the tool of correct politicians. Please pick up this and read it. Just read it and digest the words of Professor Chidi Odinkalu and the import it has on our country. Thank you so much for watching.